And I want to dedicate this video to my man Technically T and T Frank. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. And it's time to give you a little over a year, about a year and 3 months of owning my A6100 coupled with the 16mm lens. When I first decided to switch to Sony, I looked at how some other YouTubers' footage was in comparison to mine. Now back in 2020, I was supposed to have like this camera battle to promote Canon against Sony. Now, I think the battle I would have lost, if I'm being honest. The Canon camera is great for footage. I went through several Canon cameras and I ended up sticking with the SL line. I got the SL2 and this is the SL3. So I really like this lineup right here. I think it's a fantastic camera, but I learned that whatever lens I put on here, this is the Canon 10 to 18mm lens, whatever lens you put on that camera, that is where your quality comes from. And as you can see, I still use this camera right here, but it's sometimes mostly for top-down shots and photography. Now, that camera does great. But like I said, in 2020, I probably would have lost that battle, but I like to have fun. And so what I did is, in the interim of that battle not happening with my man Technically T, I decided to do some research. And I thought, you know what? He's got a tight setup. I think he was using the A6100 I think he was using the A6400 or something like that at the time. And this video is not about T or whatever happened, but it's just to say that he had a very nice setup and he has a very nice setup right now. And he would probably tell you, I totally recommend this lens for like top-down shots and especially vlogs. So I do a lot more vlogs than anything else on my channel. Believe it or not, I used to. And I'm trying to get back into that. But lately I've had so many things to review. I've just been using this for top-down shots. And in the recent days, I reached out to T for some settings. And he told me the settings that he used for the camera. And is to put because I was having some trouble with top-down shots, with it focusing on me instead of the products. And, you know, he said, hey, switch that over to 3.5 or 4.0 for the aperture and put it at 400 or 500, but, you know, no more than 6 probably. And absolutely fantastic. The footage is great. No more focus hunting when I'm using this as a top-down shot. Now, I do have the Z71, and he's been interested in that too, but I don't think he ever picked it up. I think he probably wants to, but T. Frank is another person who really got me onto the camera game. I just think when you're in a situation where you can financially go ahead and do it, you should just do it, but always do some research. So, like I said, the camera battle, I'm totally not a photographer. I was up for having some fun, but I did learn from that. So I decided I'm going to take this and flip it to my advantage. Because, like I said, Canon is a great brand, but at that time, I didn't know about lenses and stuff like that. So I started to ask some questions. So the 16mm lens is a fixed focal length. I mean, you can't zoom or anything like that. And it has got to be one of the the lenses that will give you some of the best footage. Now, earlier, I think I said you can put this lens on whatever camera is offered. It will help you, but you do need a good camera. And so for me, the reason I chose the A6100 is because I was used to the flip out screens on the Canons, and then the A6100 has a flip up screen. And I actually like this better because it keeps me focused, looking like straight at the camera, if you will. It keeps me looking straight. I can just glance up real quick and get right back into the viewfinder and see what's happening. It also has like the tilt down screen. So when I'm doing top down shots, this is what I can see. I can see everything, you know what I'm saying? So this A6100 is a fantastic camera. Even the kit lens, which I rarely use, but this is actually pretty good for top-down shots. You just have to get those settings right, and you can have some fantastic footage with this kit lens. If you don't want to spend $400 on the Sigma lens, you can technically get some blurred backgrounds with this, but it's going to be kind of difficult. But it is possible because I've seen the videos of people doing it and giving a walkthrough of the kit lens and how to get the most out of it. But I say, if you're going to get the A6100, and this is solely about this camera and this lens, if you're going to get this combination, folks, you're winning. And I suggest that you find a community of people that you know are genuinely using the products, and they're not photographers either. Like T isn't a photographer. T Frank Technically, T isn't a photographer. T Frank's just not a photographer. These are people that took the time out to learn about the cameras and use them. And then, hey, they're nice enough to share the wealth. I'm all about sharing the wealth. If you need help with something else, I can probably help you out with a lot of different things, but I don't know jack about cameras. And so in 2021, owning this now for about a year and 3 months or so, I'm glad I did it. I still recommend Canon cameras for beginners because the menu system on here, you have to grow up. With the Sony system, you have to grow up. Once you can start getting through this menu without, fumbling back to the manual or getting online and asking people, I say dig in. They do have a beginner stage, I think, like the way the screen looks. I think they have some kind of beginner's menu. Actually, I think that's the Canon joint. I think it is. I'm not sure. But the menu can have a learning curve. It's like switching from Windows to Mac. You'll have that learning curve at first, but then it'll go away. So I want to show you the camera. I'm not just going to talk about it. Things, I love the blog, though. I think it's a discussion. Smartphoneconversations.com. That's the plug. Hit that up if you want to hear the latest discussion on smartphones. I'm all about that. So with that being said, let's switch to this camera. Now, if you're wondering what camera I'm using right now, believe it or not, the best camera you hold is the best camera you have is the one you're holding. So if in fact, you already know what phone this is before I say it. If in fact, you can't get a camera and you're kind of like that one man show or that one woman show, I totally recommend the Z Fold 2. And we're heading into April of 2021. The Z Fold 2 is a content creator's dream. This is the cameras on the Z Fold 2, folks. Beast mode, right? You can't tell me this footage isn't nice. So anyway, let's switch over to this camera and maybe I'll snap a few shots, but I'll vlog it out with the rest of the video with this because for me, I like to show you the product and show you what you could possibly do with it. So again, don't kill me in the comments. I'm not a photographer. I do smartphones and tech and all that other stuff, reviews. But in order to bring you the good footage, I have to spend the loot and I have to get something to show you that what it's about. Which is why I use the phones and stuff for creating content. You know what I'm saying? So here is the A6100 and the Sigma 16. And I want to dedicate this video to my man, technically T and T Frank. And I'm not trying to leave anybody out, but behind closed doors, those two are the two I reached out to them. T Frank was actually the originator of getting me onto this camera game and getting away from phones. So shout out to my girl T Frank. It's just a big thank you for her putting it on. And then T, he came along afterwards and started helping with some of this Sony stuff. So shout out to those two and anybody else who helped me out along the way with the camera system, the camera game. Mad respect. That's just how it goes. And shout out to my man LaShawn. God, this dude is, holla at your boy. Man, you need to get your brand together because your skills is off the charts. I'm all about giving person props. And LaShawn wasn't even a YouTuber, but you know what? Now he officially is. So if you've never seen LaShawn, holla at your boy. I know you have seen him in my comments before, but he's an official YouTuber now. And I think he has the Sigma lens. And he has, I forgot what camera he has, but his videos are on point, and that's due in part to the community of people that he hangs around. You know what I'm saying? Cause he was a regular dude, you know what I'm saying? But he hangs around T, he hangs around Eric, he hangs around, Gigi, he hangs around Tech Valor, he hangs around all of us. So your footage, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So again, dedicate this video to those people that helped me out with the camera game. I'm glad you guys put me on, man. So let's turn off the Z Fold 2 and let's turn on the beast setup right here. A6100 from Sony with the Sigma 16mm lens. Let's get it. All right, so here we are with the Sigma lens on the A6100 mounted up on the tripod so we can get this vlog on. So, wow, am I excited to finally give you a little over a year of ownership for this combination. So the camera itself, when you put on this kit lens right here, I love the autofocus of this camera also and how it does with the Sigma lens. Let me see if I can get it to focus on me. Okay. How's that doing? I love how, hopefully that focus right, because I'm not using the viewfinder, I got it flipped down, but I love the autofocus on this camera, and the couple with this lens, I like how sharp it can make things. It just looks stupendous, man. It looks great. So this combination became my go-to combination last year, I think at the beginning of 2020. And it just turned out to be just the best thing that I could have ever done for myself. How could a person vlog and not want to have what I would consider probably the best quality, crispy footage that a person could possibly want? Now, coupled with this camera, you have to have audio. So I'm using the Boya mic still. I'm still using the same Boya mic from like 2 years ago. I had this Boya mic before the camera. So probably 3 years ago. Still works. I'm going to continue to use it. I think the audio is good enough for what I'm doing. And that's just what it is. So you put the 16mm lens on this Sony A6100. And to me, it's like gold. It's platinum. Titanium. It's sick. Now, some people argue that this is probably not the best footage, but I need to cut my hair. When I get my hair cut, when I shave up, and when I'm geared up, it looks super crisp. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do some kind of presentation or something like that. And even now, it's probably looking really, really good. But I think that if you're a YouTuber and you're ready to move to a next step in your quality of your footage for your vlogs, yeah, you can go with this. You can go with the ZV-1. It's an all-in-one for you. It's like the perfect setup for a YouTuber. But the ZV-1 can't do what this combination can do. I've already compared these in another video, and you can definitely see the difference. When I got the ZV-1, I immediately showed it with the Sony A6100. It's just a thing you have to grow, and you have to be willing to take advice from people who's been there before you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it has to be. There's no way to get to a better spot as far as whatever you're doing, like smartphones. You know what I'm saying? I used to use a smartphone to record everything on the video and do vlogs and everything. And eventually I had to stop. I was like, you guys were like, Jay, I love this, but what are you using to record? And it was HTC 11, but when are you going to buy a camera? People started to say this, when are you going to up your audio game? When are you going to do these things? And I thought, you know what? They're absolutely right. It's time. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this long enough, and it's time to get some real camera footage. Now, I do use a Yeti X mic, but I don't hook it to this camera right here. I could, but I like the Yeti X for like online vlogs and video chats and stuff like that, because the way it's mounted up and everything. But I feel like a YouTuber or a person who's ready, a YouTuber, if you're ready to move to the next step, or just a person who wants to take better photos or better videos, I think this combination can really go a long way, because I did that with the Canon joint with my 24mm lens. The 24mm lens is the best portrait lens, to me, in my humble opinion, that's affordable for the Canon lineup. If you don't want to spend this kind of money on a lens, this lens is $400. And right now, even in 2021, you know how long ago this lens came out. It's still selling it full cost, because it's a quality product. And the 24mm setup for the Canon joint, dopeness. The only problem with that is the focal length is super. When you put it on the Canon, if you're not using a full frame, it's like 80% or 88% or something like this. It's far up there. So, nonetheless, I'm not a photographer. I'm not a professional camera anything. I'm telling you, I'm buying the products myself. I'm using the products, and if you are just like me or somebody out there, you are wondering, there's always a person that has a question about something that's afraid to ask. And so with me, I try to debut everything possible, keep it all the way transparent when I'm using and everything with you guys, because the comments I see on my videos is, man, I'm glad I got that. Now, there are some people that say, oh, it was horrible. Okay, yeah, because you're going to have a different experience than what I'm having, but there's no different experience with the 16mm lens on these cameras. There's no difference. You're gonna leave it at f1.4 when you're shooting yourself, and you get this type of footage right here with lighting and everything is right. And then if you want to shoot something, like I said at the beginning of the video, use those settings. 3.5 aperture at about 500 or 400 or no more than 600. You're gonna get, with the right lighting, you're gonna get some good quality footage. So I wanted to show you this camera, and this lens is still beast mode. This is the highest, top of the line footage you're gonna get from me as far as vlogging, because I think this is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own personal opinion, but I think this is where it's at. For me, on this channel, this is where I'm planning on staying. Unless a new version of this camera comes out and it's just so dope, you know what I'm saying? Or a new version of the lens comes out and it's just f1.2 or something. I don't know. They already have stuff out there like that, but this is where I'm staying. This is what I'm saying. So I want to go ahead and take some photos now. And again, I want to shout out and thank you to all those people who was helping me in the background with the camera game, the questions answered, answering every question, no matter when I hit them up. Oh man, hey, this is what you should probably do, blah, blah, blah. All those people, you know you are. If I didn't mention you in this video, you know, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that, you know, there's a lot of people. But that's why I shouted out T. Frank first, because she genuinely is the person who put me on and helped me make the transition to cameras, like real cameras. You know what I'm saying? And after that, along the line, I started wanting to rock with Sony. So technically, T was the one who was kind of in that arena the most at the time I saw. So ask questions. Why not? So again, shout out to Eric and Gigi and Tech Fowler and everybody out there who's up in their game on their cameras and who's giving advice for editing or whoever you are. You know who you are. Because this footage, personally, I think a lot of people that I'm talking about, their footage is way better than mine. You know, I was being honest. Like, I think their editing is better. I think their quality of footage, videos is better. And I think it's always good to be honest with yourself, because you can be honest with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So those people that I'm shouting, I'm not just shouting them out just to get them, oh, watch my video. No, I've told them multiple times, man, your joint look better than mine. Especially Gigi, man. Her intros and all the editing, all that stuff is dope, man. I mean, if I had the patience to really get involved like that, I would have some really dope intros, and my footage, my animations and all that stuff would be real dope too. But I just turn it on and shoot. That's all I'm down with. I'm just gonna turn it on and shoot. I'm trying to work as well, not work. I'm trying to make it as easy on myself as possible, and that's what I'm gonna do. But at the same time, bring you some quality footage and just show you the product. I got this camera for vlogs. That's what I'm doing with it, and that's just what it is. So I'll maybe pump some photos here at the end or something like that. But other than that, man, I'll see you guys in the next video. Again, thanks to everybody that supports. And stay tuned for more, I guess. I got some phones coming that you'll enjoy. I got some other stuff coming that I know you're going to enjoy. I'm not going to spoil it. At the recording of this video, we're heading into April, so I'm not going to tell you what I bought. You know what I'm saying? So just come back. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. You don't have to sub if you don't want to. Just keep watching. I don't even care. It's your man, Jay. And I'm out. Put the bifocals back on now I can see.